years, since day one. Please welcome a man who has obviously never watched The View, Congressman Matt Gaetz. Hello. How do you do?
Thanks for having me. Thank you. I do watch. You guys make news every week.
Every day. We are the big political show.
I was just wondering if you were wearing black as a consequence of, like, the death of the political left in the debate last night. It was quite something to observe.
You know, don't count the dead yet, the bodies. Let's give it a little time before we count.
Well, Joe Biden, at least. I mean, I was hoping that maybe Whoopi's bell could wake up the Biden campaign if you hit it.
I thought he was actually, he didn't do any harm to himself last
What
night.
state's he going to win? I mean, this is a man who's, the fundamental premise of the Biden campaign is that he's electable and he can't seem to win elections. So now you have socialist Bernie Sanders against billionaire Michael Bloomberg.
Yeah. Well, the Republicans love a billionaire. They love money. So what are you talking about?
Well, Michael Bloomberg used to be a Republican. It's fascinating that right now the Democratic Party is likely not going to nominate a Democrat. They're either going to nominate a socialist or someone who some time ago was a Republican.
Well, let's talk about...
None of them. I don't think any of them are going to beat the president. I think we have a raging economy right now. The American family is seeing revenue pour in as a consequence of higher wages, more productivity, more business investment, more capital coming from overseas into our nation.
Donald Trump was a Democrat first.
He was. We've all sort of been politically square dancing for a while, and I think that we're in a time of real political realignment in our country.
Let's talk about your boss for a second, because yesterday...
Well, my boss are the people of Northwest Florida.
Yeah, okay. So yesterday, Trump...
Well, don't dismiss them. It's the highest concentration of active duty military in the country. And I know Megan's dad served there, so you can attack me if you want, but don't attack my constituents.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
Yesterday, Trump announced he's appointing another loyalist of his, Rick Grinnell, as his acting director of national intelligence. But Grinnell, as you know, has absolutely no intelligence experience. And he's overseeing all 17 of our intel agencies. He stands between us and the next ISIS attack. And you know, I don't know that it's a smart idea to put somebody who's inexperienced like that, and who's also a yes man, in that position. He's going to have to tell Trump things that he's not going to want to hear. You know how he doesn't like that. Trump doesn't like that.
Well, actually, if you look at the team he's assembled with people like John Bolton, the president regularly surrounds himself with people who disagree with him. I think some of the most spirited discussions I've had have been with Lindsey Graham, Rand Paul, myself, and the president discussing foreign policy. But on Rick Grinnell, 50 years ago, a gay man or woman would not be able to serve in our intelligence community. There were teams of people who went to find out if people were gay.
Wait a second.
And they would, we'll get into Grinnell's qualifications, but just for a moment, I would like to take a second to reflect on the fact that it is a good thing in this country that we do not ban gay people from being able to patriotically serve in the intelligence community.
Just transgendered people.
Well, we shouldn't be banning anybody based on who they are and who they love.
Well,
that's not the kind of Republican I am, and it's not the kind of Republican the president is. So on Rick's qualifications, 8 years at the UN, 2 years in Germany.
Yeah.
He advised the Security Council. And Berlin, where he was active, is one of the hotbeds of intelligence activity. Nothing happens there without the chief of station and the ambassador working together. So Rick Grinnell is very qualified.
So
I think it is a breakthrough appointment.
Okay,
yeah, that's my argument.
Germany, by the way, I was reading about him. They think he's very thin-skinned, but that's another story.
Well, I mean, this is The View, aren't we all?
I have another question for you.
No, not.
You know what?
And I think
yeah, it is just.
I think we agree on this. About pardon power. Now, the president has been on a pardon spree, and many think he's about to pardon Roger Stone, his longtime friend and one-time campaign advisor, who's being sentenced, I think, any minute now. They're in a break for crimes of obstructing justice, witness tampering, lying to Congress. Do you think Trump should pardon Roger Stone?
I do, and I think that it requires a review of the pardon power.
Come on.
Barack Obama pardoned over 1,700 people. Bill Clinton pardoned 459 people. Bill Clinton pardoned 16 people who were a member of a Puerto Rican terrorist organization that planned murders at the Franz Tavern here in the United States of America.
Perhaps that wasn't the right thing to do.
When we designed our Constitution, there were vestiges of the British monarchy that Americans still had some reverence for, and one was the notion that the executive, that the sovereign, could extend unlimited grace for any reason or no reason at all. That was an element of the British system that I was saying was borrowed.
No, I understand.
What I was getting at is, can we agree that perhaps that pardon power needs to be reviewed and curbed?
So, great question. In Federalist 74, Alexander Hamilton writes that the reason we have the pardon power is to serve serve as a check on a criminal justice system, which, if allowed to run wild, could create a great sense of sanguinity in our country. And so I think that if you look at the original intent of the pardon power, it cannot be limited. And again, Trump has pardoned 26 people. Obama pardoned over 1,700. Bill Clinton pardoned 459.
So the answer to the question is what?
I would agree that Roger Stone should be pardoned if for no other reason that there's been a double standard in this country where people like Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Andrew McCabe, Clapper, Brennan have not faced consequences.
Can I just ask you, how about Rob Blagojevich, who flees like a children's hospital? Was that a good pardon?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know very much about the governor of Illinois. I'm not going to get into that one. I know Roger, I don't know Blago, and I'll leave that to others to decide.
Well, Congressman, I understand that Republicans coming on The View, this is a great culture war place to come and like show the leftists what's going on. I get it. My husband works in conservative media. I'm a hardcore conservative. The thing I don't understand, because I'm not a Trumper, I think that everyone knows that very clear. Policy-wise, he's been great on many things that are very important to me. Life, military, the economy. But his character issues are still what holds me and so many, especially I think conservative women, back from going full throttle with him. And I think you're going to have a problem specifically with college-educated women coming in to the next election cycle. What would you say to women like me who still hold back on the grab them in the blank, attacking war heroes, attacking the Gold Star families, things like that that
cheating
just
on his wife,
hold us back?
stars.
Well, look, if cheating on your wife is a disqualification to be president, then y'all probably should have impeached Bill Clinton and supported that. Well, but not with all of you waving any pom-poms.
I don't know what that means.
To Megan's question, I want to directly answer Megan's question.
Please.
Donald Trump has a unique ability to get people who don't necessarily agree with him to vote for him. And so I think for women, we're going to have to make the argument particularly that 72% of the new jobs created in this economy have been filled by women. That a lot of women are concerned about the revenue in their family and whether it's going to support careers and opportunity for themselves, their partners, their children. And with 7 million new jobs being created, people coming off of welfare, America is in a sense of great renewal. We've got a comeback president running against the throwback left and the Venezuela wing of the Democratic Party taking over with Bernie Sanders.
Oh, come on, the Venezuela
Go listen to Bernie Sanders. He praises Venezuela. He praises Cuba. I don't want that for our great
We
president.
want to thank Matt
good line.
Gaetz.
Gaetz.
Good boy.
Open Gaetz.
We'll be right back.